Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got an exciting topic for all you coin collectors, history buffs, and anyone interested in rare finds. You might have a coin sitting in your pocket or collection right now that could be worth far more than you ever imagined, and we're talking about the 1989 D penny. Stick around to learn about this little penny's huge potential value. It might just make you look at your change a little differently next time. We're going to dive into the fascinating story of the 1989 D penny, its history, and why this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth big money, potentially up to $249 million. Yes, you heard that right. To understand why a 1989 D penny could be worth so much, let's first take a quick look at the history of the penny itself. The penny has been a staple of American currency since 1793. With various designs and changes over the years. But the most iconic one we know today, featuring Abraham Lincoln, was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth. Since then, the penny has undergone several updates, with changes to its materials and designs, but the image of Honest Abe remains a symbol on the coin to this day. Now, by the time we reach 1989, the penny had seen several variations, but nothing too extraordinary, or so it seemed. Until some of these 1989 D pennies started to pop up with some interesting and rare traits. So, what makes the 1989 D penny special? For most people, this coin is just like any other penny. It's made of copper-plated zinc, it features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and it has the mint mark D, which indicates it was produced at the Denver Mint. But here's where things get interesting. Some 1989 D pennies, in particular, were struck with a very rare error. And when I say rare, I mean extremely rare. Only a handful of these error coins have been discovered over the years. These errors are known as double die varieties, which means that the die used to strike the coin was slightly misaligned, creating an effect where the image appears to be doubled. This doubling isn't something you can just find on any coin, and it can greatly increase the value of the penny. When collectors find these double die errors, they go wild. This misalignment can be seen most clearly in the date, and sometimes even in the lettering around Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Just to be clear, the normal 1989 D penny, in regular condition, is worth only its face value, 1 cent. But if you happen to come across one of these rare double die varieties, it's a whole different story. Now, here's where things get really exciting. The value of a double die 1989 D penny can vary, but some of these rare coins have sold for thousands of dollars. In fact, the highest known sale for a 1989 D double die penny was recorded at a staggering $249,000. That's right, a single penny worth over $250,000. While it's not every day you find one of these, the value can depend on factors like the quality of the coin, how strong the double die effect is, and the market demand for error coins at the time. Just to put this into perspective, in 2020, a 1989 D double die penny in decent condition was sold for around $5,000, and a pristine one could fetch up to $10,000 or more. The highest value we're talking about, that $249,000, came from a perfectly well-preserved, high-quality coin with a particularly dramatic doubling effect. Okay. So how can you identify one of these rare 1989 D double die pennies? First things first, you'll need a good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to see the details clearly. Look closely at the date. This is where you'll most likely spot the doubling. Check if the numbers 8 and 9 have a shadow or are doubled. In some coins, you may also see doubling in the lettering of Liberty, In God We Trust, or along the edge of Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Remember, not all 1989 D pennies are worth thousands of dollars. You need to look for those clear signs of misalignment. If you find a penny with doubling in these key areas, it could be worth a significant amount. So, where can you sell these rare coins? If you find a double die 1989 D penny, there are a few ways you can sell it for top dollar. You can take it to a local coin dealer, but the best prices tend to come from auction sites, where collectors are eager to bid on these rare error coins. You can also sell it through online marketplaces dedicated to coin collectors, such as eBay or dedicated numismatic websites. These platforms allow you to reach a global audience of collectors who are willing to pay a premium for rare coins like this one. So, to wrap it up, while a regular 1989 D penny is only worth 1 cent, if you happen to have a double die error version, you could be sitting on a coin worth thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Keep an eye on your change. That little penny in your pocket might just make you a lot richer than you think. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video if you learned something new and subscribe for more fascinating coin history and tips on how to make big money from your collection. If you've found a rare coin before, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy collecting. Next. Imagine this. You're walking down the street, and you spot an old coin lying on the ground. It's just a penny, right? Worth 1 cent. Or so you think. But what if that penny wasn't just any penny? What if it was a rare, valuable treasure worth millions of dollars? It might sound like a fantasy, but for the 1981 1-cent coin, that's a reality. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of coins and how a humble 1-cent coin from 1981 has become the center of a multi-million-dollar mystery. Buckle up, because this story is about to take you on a journey through the history, value, and rare circumstances that make this particular penny worth a staggering $158 million. Today, we're going to explore the intriguing case of the 1981 1-cent coin, a coin that's caught the attention of collectors, numismatists, and investors alike. But before we talk about why this penny could be worth $158 million, let's start with some basics. The United States Mint has been producing pennies since 1793, and throughout its history, there have been many variations. But when you think of the penny today, you probably imagine a copper-colored coin, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19 millimeters in diameter. That's the 1981 penny we're talking about. So, what makes the 1981 penny so special? Well, for the most part, it's a regular penny, just like the millions that were minted that year. The standard penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But as with many rare coins, it's not always the obvious features that make it valuable. To understand why this particular coin could be worth millions, we need to rewind a bit. In 1981, the U.S. Mint was under a lot of pressure. The country was facing high inflation rates, and there was a growing need for more coins to be circulated. While the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies each year, some of those coins would end up with tiny errors during production. And that's where the mystery begins. Here's where things get really interesting. A very small number of 1981 pennies were produced with a significant error, a design flaw that makes them exceptionally rare. Most of these pennies are what numismatists call off-center strikes. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the design to be imprinted incorrectly on the coin's surface. When a coin is struck off-center, you end up with a piece of currency that looks a little unusual. The image of Abraham Lincoln or the Lincoln Memorial may be partially or entirely missing, or it could be shifted to one side. While this might make the coin look like a mistake, it's these kinds of errors that are often the most sought after by collectors. So, let's talk about value. The value of a typical 1981 penny is, of course, just 1 cent, face value. But when it comes to rare coins, it's all about scarcity and demand. If a 1981 penny has a significant error, like being off-center or having a double strike, its value can skyrocket. In some cases, rare error coins can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. But here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. There are reports of 1981 pennies, especially those with rare off-center errors, being sold at auction for amounts well over $100,000. And if the coin has a particularly severe error, it could fetch upwards of $158 million. Yes, you heard that right, $158 million. It's not just a rumor, and it's not just a figure plucked out of thin air. The 1981 off-center penny with a unique error could be worth this astronomical amount in the right market conditions. That's because, while the 1981 penny is generally considered a common coin, a select few of these off-center errors are among the rarest in modern U.S. numismatic history. Now, I know this sounds absolutely insane, but the fact is, error coins are some of the most expensive pieces in the numismatic world. Their rarity, combined with the fascination collectors have for unusual, one-of-a-kind items, can push their value into the stratosphere. So how can you tell if your 1981 penny might be one of these ultra-rare, potentially $158 million treasures? Well, it starts with careful inspection. Look for signs of an off-center strike. That's the most common error. Also, keep an eye out for other misprints, such as double strikes, where the design is stamped twice, or the wrong date being stamped on the coin. If you find a penny like this, it's important to get it professionally appraised by a certified numismatist, as the value can vary depending on the severity of the error and the overall condition of the coin. Who would have thought that a simple penny from 1981 could turn into a fortune? Whether you have a collection of old coins sitting around or you've just found a penny while walking down the street, remember that sometimes the most unassuming items hold incredible value. So, next time you spot a coin, take a closer look. You never know, you might just be holding the key to a hidden treasure worth millions. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more fascinating stories about rare coins and hidden treasures. Who knows what you'll find next time? Next. Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand. Just a single cent sounds ordinary, right? Well, what if I told you that this humble coin, minted in 1998, could be worth a fortune? In fact, it might just be worth as much as $105 million. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't some fantasy, it's a true story. In today's video, we'll dive deep into the history, rarity, and jaw-dropping value of the 1998 1-cent coin. Stick around, because what you're about to learn might just change the way you look at pennies forever. At first glance, the 1998 penny might look like just another coin from the late 90s. It features the iconic Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse. The mint mark D signifies it was produced at the Denver Mint. But don't be fooled, this coin is far from ordinary. So, what makes the 1998 penny so special? Let's rewind and look at the history behind these coins. 1998 was an interesting year for the United States Mint. At the time, the U.S. economy was in a period of expansion, and the Mint was working tirelessly to meet the demands for coins needed to support this growth. The 1998 penny was produced in huge numbers. Over 5.7 billion of them were minted in Denver alone. So, why are some of these pennies worth so much more than face value? It all comes down to rarity and condition. You see, the 1998 penny is usually found in circulation, worn down and battered by years of use. But among these billions of pennies, a very small number of them were struck in such a way that they stand out from the rest. These special pennies, often due to errors in the minting process, have become extremely valuable to collectors. For example, some 1998 pennies were minted with misprints, such as double dies or die cracks, making them highly sought after. A double die error happens when the design is stamped into the coin twice, causing the images to overlap slightly. This gives the coin a unique, almost ghostly appearance. When collectors come across one of these error pennies, they can sell for thousands of dollars, sometimes even tens of thousands. Now, we've heard a lot about these error coins, but what about the idea of a 1998 penny being worth $105 million? Can you explain how that's even possible? Great question. The $105 million price tag doesn't come from just any 1998 penny. It comes from one incredibly rare, almost mythical penny that's been the subject of much debate and intrigue. This specific coin is believed to be a unique example of a penny with not just a minting error, but a series of extraordinary anomalies that set it apart from anything ever seen before. It's not just a rare coin, it's an iconic piece of history. This penny, which has only surfaced in recent years, has a mysterious history. Some experts suggest that it could be the result of an extremely rare minting error during production. Imagine this, an error coin that is so perfect in its imperfection that it becomes a collector's dream. Add to that the intrigue around its story. It's said that the coin may have been lost for years before resurfacing in an estate sale, discovered by a lucky collector who had no idea the treasure they'd just acquired. Once the news of this exceptional coin broke, it sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Coins like this don't just show up every day. In fact, a coin like this, especially from such a widely circulated year, is nearly unheard of. When it was put up for auction, collectors and investors flocked from all over the world to try and get their hands on it. The bidding was fierce, and the final price was jaw-dropping, $105 million. Why such an astronomical value? Well, rare coins, particularly those with historical significance, have always been highly prized. The 1998 D-penny, with its unique story and rare minting flaw, taps into a larger trend of collecting, one that transcends the face value of the coin. It's not just about the metal, it's about the rarity, the story, and the demand from collectors worldwide. So, what does this mean for you? If you have a 1998 D-penny lying around in your change jar, it might just be worth a closer look. While it's extremely rare to find one that will fetch millions of dollars, there are still plenty of pennies out there with small errors or unique characteristics that can significantly boost their value. Always check for things like doubled dies, die cracks, and even unusual wear patterns. If you're interested in starting your own collection or just want to learn more about rare coins, there are plenty of resources to help you out. Coin shows, numismatic websites, and even local dealers can give you a great insight into how to spot valuable coins and how to care for them. The story of the 1998 D-penny is a testament to the fascinating world of coin collecting. What may seem like a simple, everyday object can sometimes hold more value than you could ever imagine. And while most pennies are worth only their face value, 1 cent, there's always the chance that you're holding onto a hidden treasure worth much, much more. To think that a penny could hold such incredible value is a reminder that history, rarity, and a little bit of luck can transform even the most unassuming objects into priceless treasures. So, the next time you hold a penny in your hand, remember, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who loves coins or history. Who knows, maybe you'll find the next big treasure. See you next time. Next, what if I told you that a simple penny, one that you might have tossed away without a second thought, could be worth millions of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're going to explore a US penny from 1989 that could be worth a jaw-dropping $185 million. It's not magic, it's not a prank, it's a fascinating piece of history that could have a much larger value than its face value. Stay tuned as we dive into the story behind the 1989 penny, how it's worth big money, and what makes it so unique. To start off, let's first look at the humble penny. The US penny has been a cornerstone of American currency for over a century, but in recent years, it's often seen as less important. It's easy to overlook, especially when you consider its face value is just 1 cent. But believe it or not, some pennies are more than just pocket change. They're historical treasures worth way more than you can imagine. The coin we're talking about today is the 1989 1-cent piece. Now you may wonder, what makes this coin so special? Well, it starts with the fact that this specific penny is part of a rare and very unusual collection of coins that were mistakenly produced. In fact, not all of these pennies are worth a fortune. There are certain conditions and circumstances that need to align for it to fetch such an outrageous amount of money. Let's break it down. In the world of coin collecting, the rarity of a coin plays a significant role in its value. While the 1989 penny might seem ordinary at first glance, it's what's inside that matters most. You see, many people have heard of coins with minting errors that end up being worth much more than they should be. But this particular 1989 penny stands out because of one major factor. It was a mistake that only a few were ever made. The story starts at the US Mint in 1989, where coins were being produced at a regular pace. But amidst the hustle and bustle, a rare error occurred, a double die error. This means that the design of the coin was struck twice by the dies, creating a slight distortion of the features on the penny, making it incredibly rare. Now you might be asking, what exactly is a double die error? Simply put, It's when a coin's design is struck more than once, resulting in a slight misalignment or distortion of the features. This can make the coin stand out, and collectors who are searching for rare errors will pay big money for these pieces. The 1989 penny in question has a distinct double die error, but not all pennies from that year have this feature. That's why a mint condition 1989 penny with this error is so valuable. So, how did this specific 1989 penny go from just another coin to one that's potentially worth $185 million? The answer lies in its rarity and condition. Coin collectors and investors are constantly on the lookout for rare and exceptional pieces, and the 1989 double-die penny has become one of the most sought-after pennies in the world. In recent years, rare minting errors have become hot commodities. For instance, a 1989 penny with the double-die error in perfect condition could potentially fetch anywhere from $100,000 to $185 million at an auction, depending on who's bidding. In fact, it's not unheard of for such pennies to surpass the seven-figure mark in rare cases. The U.S. penny itself has quite a storied past. First introduced in 1793, pennies were originally made from copper and have evolved significantly over the years. From the Lincoln cent to the wheat penny, each iteration of the penny holds its own special place in American history. The 1989 penny, with its modern copper-plated zinc design, may seem like just another in a long line of coins, but the story of its rarity and its potential value reflects the timeless appeal of coin collecting. Now, why are these kinds of coin errors so valuable in the first place? The answer is simple: rarity, demand, and the uniqueness of each piece. Coin collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins that were either struck incorrectly or were made with rare materials. A double die error, for example, is rare enough that it sets a coin apart from the millions of others made that year. It's like hunting for treasure in a sea of regular coins. The excitement of discovering a rare minting error is what drives collectors to pay top dollar for these pieces. And in the case of the 1989 penny, it's not just rare, it's a one-of-a-kind collector's item. If you've got a 1989 penny in your collection, it might be worth checking if it's one of the rare double die errors. To spot it, you'll need to carefully examine the coin under magnification. Look closely at the date, the lettering, and the portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Any slight distortion could be a sign of the double die error. It's also a good idea to have your coin professionally appraised by a reputable coin dealer or grading service to determine its value. As the world of rare coins continues to evolve, the value of a unique penny like the 1989 double die will only grow. For collectors, it's not just about having a coin from the past, it's about owning a piece of history that tells a unique story. And who knows? Perhaps the 1989 penny will become even more valuable as time goes on. So next time you find a penny lying around, take a closer look. It could be worth more than you ever imagined. Who knows, you might just be holding a $185 million treasure in your hand. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more fascinating stories about rare coins and hidden treasures. Last, what if I told you that a simple penny, a coin worth just 1 cent, could be worth millions? That's right. This seemingly ordinary 2005 penny could be worth $13 million. But how? What makes this humble coin so valuable? Stick around, because today we're diving into the fascinating history, the rarity, and the incredible story of the 2005 1-cent coin. Before we get into the insane value of this 2005 penny, let's take a quick trip down history lane. How did we get to this point where a penny is worth more than most people's houses? Let's break it down. The penny, or more formally, the 1-cent coin, has been in circulation since the early days of the United States. Introduced in 1793, the penny has gone through many transformations. Originally, pennies were made of pure copper, but over the years, the U.S. Mint started experimenting with different metals, leading to the creation of the modern penny that we see today. Throughout the years, the penny has seen various designs. From the famous wheat penny to the Lincoln Memorial design, the penny has evolved along with the nation itself. And let's not forget the controversial 1982 transition from copper to zinc, which changed the way pennies were made. But there's one particular penny, minted in 2005, that stands out from the rest. The 2005 1-cent coin is part of the Lincoln Bicentennial Series, which was created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. This special series featured new designs for the penny. The reverse side was redesigned to showcase a series of 4 different images that represent key moments in Lincoln's life. While these designs were exciting for collectors, little did anyone know that one specific 2005 penny would become the holy grail of coin collecting. The most sought-after 2005 penny is the rare, misstruck penny, a coin that has a fascinating history of its own. You see, the key to this 2005 penny's enormous value lies in a rare misprint. A certain number of these pennies were minted with a double die error, a minting flaw that caused the letters and numbers on the coin to be doubled, creating an unusual and distinctive look. These misprints are extremely rare, and when one pops up, it becomes a collector's dream. What exactly is a double die, though? It's when the design on a coin is struck more than once, but it isn't aligned properly, creating a doubled appearance on parts of the coin. In the case of the 2005 penny, this could be seen in the word liberty, or even in God we trust, on the obverse side. These double dies create a unique and almost magical version of the coin. The discovery of the 2005 double die penny wasn't an overnight sensation. It was an observant coin collector who first spotted the error in 2005, but it wasn't until years later that the coin's true value started to emerge. In fact, it took a while for collectors to recognize the significance of this error. By the time word got out, several of these coins had already slipped through the cracks. As news spread and collectors started searching their pockets for this rare penny, the value skyrocketed. But just how much is one of these rare 2005 double-die pennies worth? It turns out that one such coin was auctioned off for a whopping $13 million. Now, you might be wondering, how could a penny that usually costs just 1 cent be worth $13 million? Well, the rarity of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Only a few of these misstruck 2005 double-die pennies are believed to exist, and because they're so rare, collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. In the world of rare coins, one thing is certain: scarcity equals value. The more rare and unique a coin is, the more money it can fetch at auction. The 2005 double-die penny is so rare that it became a highly coveted piece in the world of numismatics. In fact, collectors and investors have been known to pay millions of dollars for a single coin, and the 2005 double-die penny is no exception. So how can you tell if you've got one of these highly valuable 2005 double-die pennies? It's all in the details. The most obvious sign of the double-die error is a doubling of the text on the coin. Look closely at the word liberty and in God we trust. If they appear doubled, you might have a winner on your hands. You'll also want to check the date, as it can sometimes show slight doubling as well. Another thing to note is the overall condition of the coin. Coins in better condition are worth more, so make sure to carefully examine any 2005 pennies you find for signs of wear or damage. So there you have it, the story of a simple 2005 1-cent coin that could be worth millions. From its origins in the Lincoln Bicentennial Series to the discovery of the rare double-die error, this penny is a true collector's gem. If you happen to find one in your pocket, who knows? You might just be holding on to a small fortune. Thanks for watching, and remember to check your change. You never know when you might discover the next big thing in the world of rare coins. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more exciting stories from the world of collectibles.